So the task at hand today is more shop upgrades. So we recently got the lift installed, it's all wired up, it's working, it's ready to go. We also got this beautiful new Ranger tire machine. This thing is sick. It's basically got all the options, built-in cheetah, power assist arm, tilt back, it's sick. But we haven't been able to use it yet, even though we got our air compressor installed and wired up and working, because we don't have anything plumbed out of our air compressor. We ain't got no lines. We got tons of tires we need to mount. We got the machine, we got the air compressor. We just gotta go from point A to point B and hook the two together. So that is the first and most important task at hand for today. So to do it, I've got this Maxline air kit. I got this on Amazon. Seemed to have good reviews. It's like some sort of rubberized deal with aluminum core. It's got 3 drops, so we'll be able to have 3 bulkheads basically, which will be really nice. Got fittings. I've got a liter hose from the compressor. This will be a liter hose to this hose reel. The plan is to do 3 drops. So we've got a lot of hard plumbing to do, but wanted to do it right. Wanted to make sure we had air everywhere we needed it. So we're gonna take the time and get this all routed up. Let's get to work. All right, so the first thing we're gonna have to do is basically set up our distribution area. So we're gonna have this coming off the compressor into our regulator here. We have a bracket for that, and then we've got this block, which really needs to be mounted this way because it's going to come hard piped into here. We're going to spread this out a little bit, and then we're going to come up out of this for our first drop and then out for our second and third drops. But it's like when we mount it like this, then we got to waste 2 90s coming off, and it'll be sticking off the wall. So this is the basic layout with a little room to expand. I'd like to do a dryer setup, but you need more lines. I kind of got to put it somewhere else, yada yada. Moral of the story is we've got this piece of MDF that we're going to mount this stuff on. I want to kind of build this out here before I install it on the wall. It'll just make life easier, but I need to make a bracket for this. Try to keep it super simple. Funny, because I have a whole new setup to go in a press that would make doing this way easier, but I haven't got it set up yet because I don't have the room. Perfect. Sweet, all right. We need to make our line from here to here, get that on, and then we can go ahead and mount this board. Oh, that's pretty easy. Easier than I was expecting it to be. I get wrenches. All right, that's step number 1 done. That wasn't too bad. Stuff seems pretty solid. All right, so we've got our base all sorted out. We've got our regulator, our soft hose going to the compressor, coming from the compressor, boom, through the regulator to our distribution block here. So we've got one port blocked off. We will have that if we need it, if we want to run air somewhere else. And then we've got 2 going out. So one will go out to the first drop, and then one will go out to the second and third. So now we just got to go throw this thing on the wall, hook it up, and then start building from there. Does not look level to me. Sweet. All right, now we've got that mounted, all hooked up. So now we need to run our first drop, which is gonna go right through this hole here. I pre-drilled it so I knew how high to put this thing, so I didn't put it too high. So we're gonna come up 90, boom, right into there. Alrighty, well, that's drop number 1 plumbed. I could have gone a drop shorter with this, maybe like not even 1/4 of an inch, just to flatten this out a little bit. I kind of bulkheaded it instead of making it where this fitting could fit through, only the other part can fit through. But yeah, cool. So we got to do our next pipe. It's going to be a long run, so we're going to have to bring this whole roll with us through the rafters, clamp it as we go, get it to where it needs to go, and then cut it. So far, I'm happy with it. If it doesn't leak, I really like it. For sure. All right, before we move on, I want to make this one official. Ready, set. Oh, that was weak. Done. Now, I'm super satisfied with that. That looks so good, having no hose running to it. Got our quick connect on there. Got our drain. We're ready to rip. So now, on to the hard one. All right, I've got it routed to here. I needed to do a jog over because I want it to come down right in here, in between these next to the electrical box. So we got the jog. I replaced the temporary metal clamps with P-clamps. We got a bit more to do. I am already regretting not just doing my freaking dryer thing here. I should have just done the dryer thing here. This is proper to do it 25 feet away. Like, I don't know where else I could put it that's 25 feet away without coiling 25 feet of hose. So, I don't know. We'll figure it out for now. This is going to get us where we need to go, and I can change this up later. This can all stay the same. Got plenty of room over here to put whatever I need to put. So, for now, the regulator's going to get us by. All right, I'm going to get back to routing this stuff. All right, so the one thing that is going to be tricky is we've got a pretty small window to run it down through. I'm realistically going to have to measure down, figure out about the length I need, run it out over the rafters and cut it up here and then put it down because I'm not going to be able to fit the whole roll between the wall and the roof where it needs to go. Realistically, 7'4". I think if we cut it at 9, that'll give us plenty of cushion. If you cut it short, that's a long run. All right, luckily our fittings did come in time, so we got this thing fully loaded out. This is gonna be our quick connect for just another hose at the front area there. This is gonna thread in there, and this is our leader hose to our tire machine. So all that's good to go. I got the line routed, boom, it goes down right between the wall and the roof here. I put a little rubber hose up there so it doesn't get chafed, and it's gonna come down right to here. So I already drilled a hole in the wall just above the 2x4 just so I don't miss with the screws when I go to mount it. And then again, we got our little leader hose to the tire machine. The other hose will come off here and just kind of service the front of the garage area. One thing I do need to make sure of is I leave myself some slack up there to put a T in later, because once we have the shop closed in, I'm gonna put a T up there and we're gonna run one more line all the way up to here, down, and have a drop right here on the wall, and that's where our reel's gonna go. But obviously there's no wall here yet, so I can't really mount that. I don't wanna mount it on the ceiling, so we're gonna have to wait on that. So for now, instead of putting anything here, I just bent it at a 90, come down. We're gonna need to get the ladder out here, bend this straight and clamp it. Perfect. All right, one more connection. Probably could have got away with a 3-foot leader hose, but I wasn't sure exactly where I was going to put the tire machine. I won't really know until the shop's closed in. All right, we're all connected. Moment of truth. Turn the compressor on and see if we got any leaks. Just to show you guys how quiet this compressor is, I don't have to talk that loud in here, and I'm still, like, this isn't even fully boarded up, the door's not on it, so it's not doing much. You walk out here, hardly hear it. You walk over here, barely hear it. Barely. I'm gonna insulate that room a little bit just because, but much quieter than I was expecting. So happy that this thing is that quiet for such a big, beefy, serious 2-stage compressor. I mean, it's quieter than any compressor I've ever had by a long shot, and it's way more powerful. All right, compressor shut off. We reached max pressure. Start turning the regulator up. $140. This is at 140. Gotta turn that breaker on and move this out of the way. Wow, that ram is fast. Wow, that thing is a unit. We know the spin works. This guy out. Take our wood block out. Dude. Oh my god, this is so cool. So freaking cool. Alright, I'm gonna finish unwrapping this and we can start trying to mount some dang tires on it. Actually, before we do that, before we start mounting tires, because that's gonna take some time, I got a backlog of tires to mount. We have another project, and it's gonna require some cure time. So let's start on that. It's gonna require me getting this workbench all cleaned off. But hey man, all of this is working. Not a single leak. First try. Yeah, no leaks, man. I'm really, really impressed with this stuff. I'm super happy with it. I'll put a link to it below. I'll put a link to everything below. Okay, like I said, clean off this workbench, start doing our next project. All right, so what are we doing? We've got a bunch of wood glue. It's not what you would expect. We're gonna try to coat the top of this MDF with wood glue. Now this was a viewer suggestion, and I admit I was a little hesitant, but I trust the viewers. I trust them. I have gotten some great suggestions over the years from the viewers. I think probably the best, most memorable one that I've told so many people who've told so many people about was using oven cleaner as engine degreaser. Someone commented this on my video years ago, and they're like, oh, oven cleaner is like $1 at the dollar store, and it works even better than engine degreaser. Ever since then, I've used it. I've told so many people about it. You know, a lot of people want to focus on the negative of YouTube and like the drama and all this BS that comes with it, but there's so much good that can be focused on, and there's been so many good suggestions I've gotten, so I'm incredibly grateful for it. I think it's a great community if you look at it that way. If you want to see it as bad, you'll see it as bad, but this could be a good thing. Now, I'm not going to speak too soon. I haven't tried it yet. It's wood glue. We're going to coat a top with it. I don't know. This could be a troll. Who knows? But we're going to find out. We're going to try it out. Obviously, this is going to take some time to cure, so that's why I wanted to do it now before we start doing the tires, so it can cure while we're doing the tires, and then we can see if we got trolled or not. I don't think so. I have faith. I have faith. But it is white, so I'm a little skeptical. And it is glue. We're trying it. Alrighty, got the coating about as even as I could. It is definitely still white. Hopefully it dries clear. I'm just curious what the finish is gonna be. It was real hard to get it even just because it's so thick it kind of pushes around. But this workbench is already kind of beat up and stained anyway, so I figured I'd try it on this one before I build my next one for out there. If it comes out good, I'll use it on that one. If not, I'll just epoxy that one. So I'm real curious what the results are gonna be, but we're gonna have to wait a little bit for that. So in the meantime, we can finally start mounting some tires. We got tires, we got wheels up there, and we got the old tire machine fully operational. I am so excited to use this thing. Man, I cannot wait. I'll probably be a little slower than normal at first. You know, I'm normally pretty quick with mounting tires because I've mounted so freaking many, but I've always used a basic tire machine. I haven't really used one of these with the extra power arm, but like one time. So it's probably gonna take me a minute to get in the groove of where everything is and the actions and the movements, and then we'll be jamming. So without further ado, let's try it out. So these are some tires for an upcoming drift comp. I've got a few sets mounted already, but the track we're competing on is not very kind to tires, so I want to make sure I have enough to make it all the way through. I'll make it all the way through. All right, here we go. First set of tires mounting on the new tire machine. All right, so this is a perfect time to try out one of the really cool features. This thing is crazy. This is, I knew it was gonna be a good bit better than the machines I'm used to, but wow, it is like 10 times more powerful. So this is a good test of the power arm because what happens is with a 3-piece wheel like this, normal wheel you have like a bead, like a lip, and a lip. So you pop the bead like the back side did, pops off, it's good. The wheel shallows in after that. On a 3-piece wheel, since the lip is flat, you basically got to get the bead of the tire to about here to get it to like pop the bead, which is impossible with the back part of the tire on. So what I used to have to do with my normal basic tire machine is put it on like this, get this bead over the lip of the rim, take it back off, which is really hard to get it off with the tire halfway on, put it back down, break the bead again all the way, put it back on, and then do it. Whereas I think this power arm, we should be able to, we'll see. We'll see. I'm not gonna get too ahead of myself. And then this is really nice because I had issues with these on this side, like a normal one, and they pop off and they don't stay latch well, whereas this thing air latches. It's not going anywhere. Look at this brand new tire spoon. Well, this is a nice one. It's the one that came with it. coming. I think it's almost there. I think it's off. Yeah, it's good. I think. Just like a tiny bit. There we go. That is so much easier. Like I said, it's going to take me some time to get the hang of this thing and be efficient with it. Look at that, dude. And watch out. Wow, there we go. Okay, so let's see if we can we just do this? Wow, that's incredible. Dude, I'm living the dream right now using this tire machine. This is life-changing. Well, first tire mounted on the new tire machine. This is my new baby. This thing's incredible, dude. Incredible. We got to see how this turns out. So I guess here's kind of a before. It's drying in some spots, but here's a before. Show you what it looks like in the morning. Ta-da! Man, it actually came out really good. About as good as I could have hoped for. It's nice, smooth finish. It's all sealed in now. We kind of screwed up by waiting until after I'd already stained the crap out of it to protect it like this. So the next one I will definitely do first and foremost, maybe before I even build the table. But it looks really good. I'm really happy with it. Super smooth. Good way to seal in your MDF without having to do the whole epoxy procedure, because it's like several steps. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this stuff back together. You can see what it looks like all complete. Done. Got everything back on here. Everything fit back good, obviously. Super happy with how this came out. But also, exciting, we got pretty much our last run, our last shipment of shop equipment. So we've got a Ranger transmission jack. This is gonna be a game changer. I've wanted one of these for a very long time working on the lift. This thing should make life a lot easier. I've wanted one for a while, finally got one. And then a 1-ton Welding engine stand from Ranger as well. Now, the reason for this is the old cheapo engine stands, they don't seem to like, I don't know if you can see that angle there, they don't seem to like the old iron block LS's. It gets sketch. So, nice 1-ton beefy boy engine stand. Good there. And then the last and biggest piece of final shop equipment, a Ranger tire balancer. So, this thing is basically the matching tire balancer to our tire machine. Tire machine, I can do anything on it. I might as well at least get a balancer so I can do it. And I don't have to go anywhere for anything, at least in regards to tires. So yeah, this thing's in a pretty beefy crate. Let's try to get it unboxed. All right, so before we start unwrapping and moving this, I've been trying to clear a spot for it because I don't want to keep it out here like the tire machine, since it should easily fit through the door. So I've been trying to clear out some of this stuff, and I've been taking my time and reorganizing. So this shelf, when I moved in, was just kind of like a crap collector. We just threw stuff on here. We didn't know where to put it. And I went through, cleared it all out, got everything organized and nice and in totes. We got a clear shelf now, so we got that done. I'm gonna put this engine under here because it doesn't need to be on this stand. And yeah, so anyway, one of the projects I wanted to do real quick required the welder. So I rolled the welder over here, and I just assumed when I moved in that this thing would not fit through the door into here. I mean, there's a double door there. You'd have to carry it through the grass. It's heavy. So I put it in the garage. So when I brought it over here, I'm looking and I'm like, dude, let me measure it. What do you know? By the skin of its teeth, this thing fit through the door. So now we have it in here, which is nice because this is my multi-process welder, so it does MIG, TIG, and stick, and my plasma cutter setup. It wasn't being used in the garage because I don't work on things over there. So I'm really glad to have been able to get this in here now. So with all that being said, we have a little welding project to do. This is my Rolly workbench. I just kind of threw this together with some stuff I had. I put these casters on it, but on these tabs, they just bend. So like, you try to move this thing, And it's just terrible. You put any weight on it, they just bend, and then you can't freaking roll it because it just goes all sorts of directions. So what I want to do is weld some plates on the bottom here, drill holes, and mount the casters in the center so they won't bend. So let's get to it. Ah, much better. Sweet. Only one thing left to do. Might as well coat the top. All right. Just gotta let it dry. Last thing I want to do real quick before we move the balancer in here to store it is get this thing off the stand under there. That way it's out of my way. And then we can put the balancer here, put this stuff next to it, have our little storage area. Successful. Out of the way. All right, now for this thing. First, we need to get this pallet off the other pallet. All right. All right. Well, all that shop reorganization paid off. We got this thing inside. The reason I put it inside is because, one, it's lighter, easier to steal. Two, we don't necessarily need it right now. We can get by without it until the shop's closed in, and then we can put it outside, and it fit through the door easy. So, whew. Well, I think that's going to do it, guys. I think that's about it for the shop upgrades. Obviously, this thing should turn out looking like that thing, and other than that, we're pretty well done for now. It's time to get back to work on the cars. I hope to see you guys for that, but for now, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, goodbye.